Rusty Wallace Hyundai. That's where my wife and I bought our new 2025 Santa Fe, and she says it's the best car she's ever had. We couldn't be happier with everything. Their team was great through the whole process, and their service department is top-notch. Check out their new location at 505 Callahan Drive in Knoxville, Tennessee, or at rustywallacehyundai.com. Timmy Zupancic, man, we're glad to have you with us. It's almost full circle. You know, I grew up pretty much in your dad's gym, and then we watched you and your siblings grow up. Man, it's just awesome to have you here.
Thank you. Appreciate it. It's like I said, full circle. We were just kind of talking before with swim lessons, my mom, my sister coming to watch your guys' kids and things like that. And then I was a younger kid when you guys were growing up, and you guys were like my older siblings. So it's pretty cool. It is full circle.
Man, yeah. Savannah, you actually babysat, right?
I babysat you guys a couple times. I was telling Steven a story. I was like, there was one time, and it's burned into my memory. It was just you and Skylar, and she was in the car seat screaming, and I was driving. For some reason, I was driving children, and I was speeding to get home because I was so panicked because she was screaming, and I got pulled over by the cops. Okay, so we get home, and your parents come home, and the first thing that you say out of your mouth when you were little bitty, the policeman said,
nice.
And I was like, oh, and so I was going to tell your parents, of course, obviously, but I'm like, oh.
No, you weren't, but you had to then.
Yeah, of course, I had to. I'm like, did they realize that I got pulled over?
What were you, 16 years old? You couldn't be.
Yeah, I was like 16, 17. I didn't get a ticket. I think he felt so sorry for me because I was sobbing and she was screaming.
Still screaming, yeah.
Yeah, so it was okay, but.
Well, so since then, you've grown up, man. You've got one kid, right?
Yes, I got 14 months, and then one on the way. Hopefully be here in February.
Dude, awesome. Congratulations, man.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about your history.
So, I'm from Campbell County native here in La Follette. Graduated Campbell County High School, and then went on to East Tennessee State University. Did my education there, exercise physiology degree. While I was there, I was also a part of the Olympic training site. So ETSU was one of at that time when I got in, probably 7 schools in the country, to where Team USA, the Olympic Training Center, kind of where their athletes could go get an education too, on scholarship. So your odd sports, I was a weightlifter, but then we also had canoe kayak, bobsled, figure skating, and things like that, kind of the odd Olympic sports certain colleges would host, and that was one of them. So I did my time there, traveling the country, kind of competing with ETSU, and then I got my first internship as a strength and conditioning coach for football at ETSU. Got to work with some cool people. Dave Lawson was my boss. He's been around the block, been Cincinnati with the Kelsey brothers, and then Central Michigan had Antonio Brown. Then he was Butch Jones's guy at Tennessee too. Wow. So it was kind of his last stop in his career. He'd been through it all, so he's a great guy to learn from. And did my 2 years as an intern, kind of working for free, whether it was just making chicken wraps for the guys after or mixing protein shakes, anything like that. Then he was a cool guy to where our internship was hands-on. It wasn't like you're taking tests, writing on paper. It was very hands-on. And if you can coach, you can coach, is what he would always say. If you can coach and you can show me you can coach, you can coach. So it started out as, this is your rack of guys. We have a weight room of 100 football players. This is your rack, your 4 guys. Let's see how they do. And so, I got my rack, and, my confidence, of course, I grew up in the fitness and the gym with my dad, always being a coach, and so I was very confident in what I knew and my abilities. And then, I was kind of, at that time, I was training as a pretty high level weightlifter. So it was kind of practice what you preach. And even the players kind of recognized that and looked up to me. So I built some trust early, even though a lot of the guys were my same age. So I went from having just a rack to a whole position group. Like, here, the linebackers are yours. And, I'm 20, 21 years old and getting some responsibility. So I went through, did my time there. We all got fired. That's sports. That's sports. Head coaching changed, and that's, head coaching changed, and the whole staff changes. Then I graduated, and then I got my first kind of, big boy job. I was the assistant director of strength and conditioning at Mars Hill University in Asheville. Yeah. I had 22 teams there, from golf to football to acrobatics and tumbling. It was kind of thrown into the fire, but I learned from a great guy, Coach Jared Carter there, and then we started a weightlifting program there. Even got a couple local guys from Campbell County. Shout out like Clark Lawson, and then even Secret City there. Alex Lambert goes over there. We got them up to Mars Hill, which was cool. And then we won a national championship with the women in our very first year coaching, which was pretty cool. And then I was there for till the end of 23, or the end of 24, spring of 24. Me and my wife, we decided, we were going to have a baby. So, I wanted my kid to grow up in the same kind of atmosphere that I did, with the grandparents or for me, my grandparents always lived in New York, and my aunts and uncles and everything. We were kind of solo down here in the South. So we moved down here, and so our kid could have a chance to be in the gym and everything, just like myself. So I took a desk job at LMU. It was the first kind of thing I've ever done, and I felt like I had a job. I was working in the admissions office, doing really good, just kind of traveling around, doing kind of like the school trade shows. I was working with like the kind of the medical school recruiting and doing admissions and stuff for that, hoping that a strength and conditioning job would open up in that following summer. I was like, if I can stick this out, hopefully I can get a job I want and I can stay here and coach at LMU. And then it gets to me, and I'm kind of like, I guess a little bit crazy. I can't sit, and I gotta kind of be always running and moving. And that's why I like coaching so much, because I can just be wide open 24/7, not turn it off. And then we kind of just started thinking, and then that's where ReFuel, the company we're running now, was kind of born. The idea hit early last spring, last summer, and we've been working on it for a while now.
Dude, that's awesome. You were talking about the guys at the school that kind of, respected you for what you did. But man, that's the same thing your dad did in the gym. He came in, who was he? And man, he was on a TV show for a while. I don't know if you remember hearing about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, dude, it just like every time he was in the gym, man, people just kind of gravitated toward him, and they knew that he knew something.
Yeah.
And he was awesome. And I figured you'd either go the same direction or the polar opposite.
Yeah.
But man, you're doing awesome, dude.
Yeah,
That's great.
I went the same direction, and I'm competitive, very competitive, and that's how he raised me. So I was always trying to compete with him, still do.
Yeah.
And
are you beating him yet?
It depends. It depends. He's getting, he's in his 50s now. So, but we still go at it. But even like as a career aspect, I wanted to coach in the NFL and do stuff like this. And then I started to realize that, in the coaching world, with me wanting to have kids, like the coach I work for, Coach Lawson, he always told me he moved 13 times with his family. And that after all of us kind of getting canned there, and I wasn't even a paid staff member, I was an intern. It can change. You could have to be in another city like that, and your whole family has got to get out of school and go somewhere else. And then, you win a national championship or you lose every game, you're on a salary, you're getting paid the same. I'm sure that there's bonuses, of course, you go to a bowl game or things like that, but the time and then kind of how it all works out, it's a blast. I think it's a great like single man's job. You're traveling around, and you're always with the players and traveling on the weekends, doing this sport, that sport. It's a blast. But I kind of just looking ahead as a family and decided, kind of like an executive decision, like, hey, we're gonna do something else.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. There's nothing like home, and you grew up in that community. I mean, I feel like everyone's proud of you, like, oh yeah, Timmy's doing his thing, man.
Absolutely. I mean, it's amazing. You had obviously an incredible role models in your mom and dad. They're both just amazing people, and the support system that you had, you were most definitely great and destined for great things. So.
Yeah. Well, it's like my dad always tells me, it's all about who you hang around. That's the thing.
So true.
And that even goes for like you guys, just being in my life and hanging around, just being surrounded and getting put in places with those type of people. That's the majority of it.
And that never changes.
No.
Hey, so let's dive into this ReFuel, man. Yeah. What is it? What are we talking about?
So ReFuel IV, myself, Raywin Snodderly and Rissa Price, they've owned Terry's Pharmacy for a few decades now. So I kind of came up with the idea. And so we're in the fitness industry going back where my family, I've been in fitness for a long time.
Since birth.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
The crazy thing is, it's nowadays being healthy is a trend.
Right.
Isn't that the craziest thing?
Yeah.
Like that should always been a trend, right? Like be as healthy as possible.
But it used to all be like all about like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah,
like certain people are
of course.
fit, but then others are normal.
But now, like, getting your blood work done and, even counting your steps or looking at your plate, that's a trend now. And getting your run clubs and things like that, right? It's like, why has this not always been a trend, right?
You would think that that's kind of a constant. It would be out there. Yeah.
So I saw that, and then, doing like personal training on the side always. And the worst thing ever as a personal trainer is when someone asks, hey, can you write me a meal plan? And you do it. And then, hey, 3 days later, it's like, oh, I don't even know where it went. So, those are the blood, the sweat of working out hard, right? So we started to think how to get people to that point to where they recognize that, but an easier kind of gateway to get to there. Mm-hmm. So that's when we stumbled upon, IV therapy, IV hydration. And the best part about it is it's science. It's been around forever. The first thing you do when you go to the hospital is they usually hook you up to an IV.
Of course.
Why? Because it works, right? So if I can create something that's a trusted science-backed product, like if I put vitamin C or vitamin B12 in an IV drip, you're going to have more energy. That's just how the body works. That's science. We skip the digestive system by going IV. And so that makes people come back. And then they start to feel like, oh, wow, B vitamins inside of me makes me feel good. Well, you can go eat red meat and there's your B vitamins. And then they start to change their diet. They're like, oh, okay, so you actually do feel better when you start getting healthier. And that's just, we're hoping to create a domino effect of now they start going to the gym. Now they start going on walks because they realize fueling their body properly and, exercising, things like that. If we can be a gateway to that, that's our goal. And that's why now we're building our new location. We're starting to expand our services. So we started with IVs. We started as a mobile company working out of a Terry's Pharmacy closet, just going house to house, using the lake, the Airbnbs, rental properties, stuff like that, into a small med spa. We just have 2 rooms, probably a total of 800 square feet. And then now we're just about 2 weeks away from opening our 2,000 square feet. All of our massage chairs for our IV drips. We've added the cold plunge in the sauna. That's another service we're adding. And then chiropractor as well. My dad's brother, Dr. Rich Zupancic, is in Indiana. We got him finally to come down here.
Oh, that's awesome.
So he's going to come work out of there. And so now we'll have like a one-stop shop, full circle wellness clinic. And like I said, that's kind of, we're trying to build the gateway to the healthy lifestyle.
Man.
This is so intriguing to me because I take probably 30 vitamins a day.
Yeah.
Like I am the vitamin queen. If you tell me it's going to be good for me, I'm going to take it. And my husband laughs at me all the time. So what is the benefit? Because I'm going to be honest, the amount of money I probably spend a month on vitamins is exorbitant.
Yeah.
And I was realizing that today as I was reordering vitamins, but it's better obviously to do it.
Yeah. So like the main kind of difference is what's called bioavailability, right?
Okay.
So let's say, like your emergency, you put it in water, the vitamin C, right? Mm-hmm. So anything oral vitamins, supplements, whatever, it's got to go through your gut, your digestive system.
Yeah.
So a lot of what it says is in there. Let's say there's, 100 milligrams of vitamin C, or I think it's usually 500 in like an emergency. You're probably going to actually consume and absorb, if you're taking it orally, 20 to 30%, right? So that's why you have to take vitamins daily. Our IV drips are like every 2 weeks because you get 100% absorption rate. We skip all of that. So
because I know some vitamins, they say it's better if you take it with food. Some you don't. Well, I'm not going to pay attention to any of that.
Exactly. And it's like this. So, we don't bill insurance. We're a 100% cash-based practice and that's something we use to our advantage on a marketing side too. Transparent pricing, this is $100 and it's not like you're going to get a bill from your insurance saying they covered this much 3 weeks down the road.
You use your HSA or FSA?
Yes, HSA, FSA. Some people's accounts are like copays only, but most of them, if you have like a full HSA, FSA, those cards work just fine. But transparent pricing, we offer memberships. And it's kind of like, so when I'm being a salesman, and trying to get people into our clinic and they say, hey, I buy this in vitamins and this and that. So it's kind of like, I describe it as going to the grocery store and eating fast food while you have groceries at home, right? So it's like, okay, IV therapy doesn't sound crazy affordable if you bought all these vitamins at home and you're going to get IV therapy. Let's replace it, right? So it's like, don't buy all your vitamins at home or your groceries and then still go get McDonald's or go out to eat when you have it at home. So it's got to be one or the other, right?
Exactly.
You're going to eat out all the time, don't buy groceries, vice versa. So that's how we kind of, from like a business model, help sell and get people inside of our clinic.
Well, I know I did a lot of research when I started taking my vitamins, and not all vitamins are created equal.
Yeah.
And so when you purchase good vitamins that you think are going to be good, you're several $100s
Yes.
a month in vitamins, like minimally.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you look at it that way and think about how much you're spending, then doing something like that actually makes sense.
Yeah. We have like 3 membership tiers, anywhere from $100 to $250 a month. And, that can get you reoccurring drips.
Really?
Like I said, it comes out to be less than, buying a bunch of vitamins.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to save some money.
Yeah, exactly. And then, as we've grown, and that it's a straight thank you to all of our customers and clients, is we've grown from the closet of another business to 2,000 square feet within a year's time. It's been a year coming up the next week. So it's great. And then we have plans to do a lot more.
So do you cater to, how does that, is it each client, does everybody get the same thing, or
so we use
is it different?
Right now we use we have like a generalized like menu essentially of 11 different IV drips, ranging anywhere from like women's beauty with high dose of biotin inside of them and collagen and stuff like that.
Yes, please.
We do like we call, and we kind of use like humor a little bit. So like that one is called the Fountain of Youth is what we call it. And then we use the skinny dripper. It's like a B vitamin kind of overload, B12 for metabolism boosting. We do like gut health. It's called the gut check for autoimmune, using magnesium and things like that for your gut health. We do the called in sick. That's your high dose vitamin C for all of your sick patients, getting over the flu or anything like that. And then with the muscle mix, it's amino acids for post workout. We have 11 different kind of generalized drips. We haven't gotten to a point yet, and we hope to get to the point where, we're doing blood work and giving matching it up exactly off of there. That's like a long-term goal for us to like specialize there.
So 3 of those sound fantastic for me. Could you do multiples, or is it best if you just, oh no, you should only do one of those at a time?
So yeah, only one of them at a time, because they are water-soluble vitamins. So you get an excess amount, you pee them out. That's
even IV?
Yes, even IV. Yeah. So like you get too much vitamin B12 in you, you're gonna have red pee.
No way.
That's always scary.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you talked earlier about being a personal trainer, and people ask you about the meal plans. I feel like that's something that eventually AI is going to take over.
Oh, 100%.
You can ask.
100%.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, yeah.
You can't replace accountability, good people,
Yeah.
and a good facility, and AI can't do IV drips.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, you're almost building a thing, and I'm a people person. If I can be around good people, I'll choose a gym that's a little smaller. They don't have all the equipment, but because they've got good people.
Yeah.
And the same thing is what you're doing, man. I would choose to go there as to take vitamins just to be good people. So how do you vet your people? What are you looking at?
So my staff is awesome because and they do it all. So I'm not a nurse. I cannot do any of I'm not even a doctor. Dr. Jan Robbins is our overseeing physician. He runs the ER in Campbell County. He's our overseeing physician, so he's got all of our standing orders for all of our formulas and things like that. And then my 2 partners are the pharmacists, so they're on the clinical side of things. They handle a lot of that. But myself, and kind of going back to your question, is I was kind of watching my dad grow up. Right, he built a business that revolved around him being there. Right, and so that's a lot of work.
Of course.
So part of when we came up with this is I wanted to come up with something and be a part of something that I can work on the business and not in the business.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, that's genius.
So that allows us to grow, right? So I don't have to, I'm not doing appointments every day because I literally can't. I'm not licensed to give an IV drip. But, I can work on scheduling a party for one of our nurses to be there and so on and so on. But our nurses, we're always looking for, of course, IV experience, whether that's in the ER, oncology, anesthesia, things like that. The minimum qualification is RN, registered nurse. LPNs cannot do our service solo without like direct oversight of a physician. But a lot of our students, luckily, or our staff, luckily, we're next to LMU. So a lot of them may be further in their education, like an NP school or PA school, and they're already RNs, but and they'll come work for us while they're in school or things like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we have a lot. We have like an event staff who just goes and they only events only. And like yesterday, we were at the Tiki Hut at Deerfield Marina. They had a No Wake Malibu party, and they hosted us for their brunch, to where anyone could get any hangover IV drips that we use. Yeah.
Before and after.
Yeah. Yeah.
Genius.
Yeah.
Parties. That's awesome. That
Yeah.
is so
Wedding
cool.
parties, bachelorette. We do all of that.
Oh yeah.
It's
show up looking healthy.
men's golf outings and things like that all the time. We do women's beauty nights.
That's cool.
All kinds of stuff. Yeah.
That's awesome. I did a half Ironman back in 2013, and when I finished it, I started cramping a little bit, and man, I went home and I got to where I could drink a little bit, and then I couldn't drink at all, and I waited like 3 or 4 days before I went to the hospital. Then I ended up with rhabdo, and I think I spent 4 days there trying to recover.
Yeah. They just hooked you up to a lactated ringer, I'm sure.
But if day one I just went and saw you guys, I'd been squared away probably.
Yeah, that's what we saw. And then for me too, kind of where it helps me specifically in my life is I've always been a fairly actually picky eater. So like my fruits and veggies and things like that, I could eat any meat in the world. It doesn't matter. But my especially vegetables, stuff like that, this can fill gaps in my diet with those vitamins and minerals you get from those. So yeah.
I'm just thinking about the time and hassle that I would save not having to, because I'm going out of town on Saturday. Well, I just packed up my vitamin packs because I do morning, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah.
That's a ton of vitamin work that I won't have
You
to
do vitamins 3 days a week?
3 times a week.
Yeah.
Or three times
a day?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, I am.
I do
I'm
morning
on
and
my
night, and I
vitamins.
thought that was a lot.
No, 3 times a day. Like I'm
Really?
on. And you know what? And the thing is, we're some layman. I have no clue if like what if they're not great together?
Yeah.
Well,
But
no,
I just think they sound good for me.
if you mix certain vitamins together, I'm not
Some can be better,
Yeah.
like K2 and vitamin D, like things like
Yeah.
that. There's combinations that.
Yeah. So I do those.
Yeah.
And, I take a lot.
Yeah.
Lane just laughs at me, my husband, and he's
Yeah.
like,
Mhm.
you just, I don't even.
I do the same thing. Though. I do a morning and night, and I just kind of wing it. I think you're supposed to not take. I can't remember. Is it magnesium and zinc together or not together? I don't know. I just kind of.
I take mine
Throw it together.
together.
That's a pharmacist question right there. If they were
Okay,
here,
see?
that's
But if you just showed up and had a
that's out of my
bag
scope.
ready, it wouldn't matter.
Yeah,
You just-
exactly. That's like we've got
know.
everything pre-done, and
Yeah.
But
I
it's
mess with
it's
it.
cool. And then like our staff, of course, we're looking for good nurses, but also our maybe competition is keeping people out of the ER, right?
Yeah.
My husband would appreciate that. He's an ER doctor.
Because he doesn't want to just see somebody who's just dehydrated, right? Like
Right.
save time and space for the real
Really-
problems.
yeah,
the
exactly.
larger problems, right? So my staff, not only are they great nurses, but their customer service is one of our top priorities. Because
Yeah.
like you come in, your nurse is greeted with you. You go to a private room to where they go over your medical history and things like that. And also, then they stick you, and then they move you into. We have these nice 4D massage chairs with blankets and everything. And just sit there. You can get a cold face mask and just relax and let your IV drip. Takes about 40 minutes.
Man, you get people just show up just to get all the treatment.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm going to be there.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to check all this out and see. I mean, because I was thinking today, I don't want to have to pack all these vitamins to
yeah.
travel.
It's like
and
you
do
could
that.
you could have got a drip with all those vitamins before you left, and then the last would be in your system for about 10 days.
Okay, so typically, how often do people do them?
So like our memberships, I'll give you two drips a month. So every 2 weeks is like that's what I do personally. Every 2 weeks I'll go get a drip.
All
Yeah.
right. So twice a month. What would that run somebody cost
So,
wise?
Twice a month options. We have a $150, a $200, and a $250 option.
So, what are the differences there?
So your $150 option is your normal saline bag plus one vitamin of choice, whether that's vitamin C, vitamin B12. And then when you get to your next tier, so that's what we call our basic tier. And then we have our professional tier, which is more tailored drips. Like we have a hot flash for women's PMS symptoms, the gut health, the hangover, the muscle mix. Those are there. They're usually containing anywhere from 5 to 6 vitamins. And then our high tier, our elite tier, is like your Myers cocktail, which is famous. And then you have your Fountain of Youth, your Skinny Dripper. Those are our high end, and this because they have more vitamins and a larger dosage.
That sounds like what I'd be interested in.
All right. So what's this look like scaling for you 5 years from now? Are you looking at franchising, just growing, and
Yeah.
what's that seem like?
Yeah. So like I said, that's the benefit of me and my partners is we can always be working on the business. We've built this location here, brand new development in La Follette there.
Dude, I saw the like the lives you're doing and stuff. Man, the facility looks awesome.
Yeah. So we want to be the leader in this space. There's not one yet. It's becoming healthy. Being healthy is becoming a trend. And there's not that, like in the gym space, you have Planet Fitness where there's one on every corner, right? So we want to create this full circle wellness clinic that, we can franchise and have plenty more of them. And so this is our kind of model that we've created.
Okay.
Where when someone wants to open one or we do another one, it's going to be identical to this one. We've done it all the right way. We've built it from scratch. I mean, from gravel. We've done every wall, every outlet is where we put it. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then we just launched about a couple months ago our electrolyte powder. And I have some here to give you guys when you leave. But we have our own powder. Goes into water.
What do you say powder? Is it like a pre-workout or?
No caffeine, 0 calories, 0 sugar, magnesium, sodium, potassium. Just your electrolytes.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. It just goes
like
into
a
water.
Rehydration type.
Yep, that's exactly it. Yeah.
So are you guys selling that too, just in house, or?
Yeah, we sell it online, ship it nationwide.
You have like a caffeine kind of mix that you're going to start doing.
So all we'll do we'll take that formula and add like 50 milligrams of caffeine. And the good thing about caffeine is it doesn't change any flavors or any like dietary facts like calories or anything like that.
Right. Yeah. Because I don't drink coffee or soda or any of that. I have a powdered mix that I use. That's kind of my boost there.
Yeah.
And
so we came out with this product because there was a demographic that we were missing with our IVs, whether that's diabetic patients or patients with chronic heart failure or congestive heart failure, kidney disease, anything like that, and then pregnant women too. We always caution on the safe side of the patients that we see. So if there's any type of question, should you be doing this? Should you not? We just say no. Instead of making a couple extra bucks, we would rather play the long game here. So we launched this product that's safe for everybody. It's been third-party tested, safe for NCAA athletes who can take it without any, getting popped on the anti-doping list or anything like that. But so that's something that we've launched. We've got one flavor now, tropical punch. It's like an orange mango mix, and then a strawberry splash is coming out in the next couple weeks.
I just pulled it up here on your website. You've got 40 milligrams of magnesium, 600 milligrams of sodium. 150 milligrams of potassium, and then 500 milligrams of taurine.
Yep.
Dude, you throw some caffeine in that, Savannah, you'd be set.
That's what I'm talking about. I know.
So like our sodium's all through pink Himalayan sea salt. We don't use table salt. We just use the pink Himalayan salt.
Yeah.
So that kind of separates us from the rest of those hydration companies out there. So that's something that, is good revenue that we can do nationwide. And, I've learned the supplement industry is it's a marketing game. It's
I mean, we can do this offline even, but like, what's your process for how do you get that made, or where do you get it? Is that something you'd want to push out or no?
Yeah, of course. Okay. So everything's made in the USA. We do everything in the USA. So no tariff pricing on any of our stuff. So we didn't have to change our price or anything. But our compounding lab who actually makes the formula is out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Okay. It was cool. We got to go like tour everything and put all the clean suit on, like you're going in the hospital and look at all the machines. It's pretty cool.
I asked that because a lot of people you can get on Alibaba
and just buy those ingredients,
and have it, and just put your sticker on it.
Exactly.
That's why I'm asking. Is it legit
scary.
or?
Yeah, I know it is scary.
Yeah. But, I mean, if you were like, "Oh, it's on Alibaba," I'm like, let's keep that off.
No. It's just to get that in to ship to my door, like the first 100 tubs. It was probably around 10 months of work. I mean, they were sending us samples to taste test different flavors, which one we wanted to do first. And then, of course, like the minimum order on that stuff is pretty large.
Of course.
But we got the tour of the factory, and then so they make the powder there, and then the packaging plant where they put it in the tubs and everything else is in Alpharetta, Georgia.
Hey, this is Pastor Corey. Would love for you to go check out our podcast, the Just Jesus Podcast. And if also you would like to go on our website, justjesusnow.com, you can check out some of our church services and some of our merch. Be blessed.
So what's your thoughts on it, man? Do you have fear that somebody might come and be like, oh, you know what, I'm just going to buy this once a month and quit coming to doing the IV drips? Or is it just kind of a supplement in between? Is it? I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
So it's the same concept as, so let's say that's like a Band-Aid, right?
Okay.
So like we preach as a marketing thing, like the vitamins, the bioavailability I was talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a vitamin. That's your bioavailability.
Okay.
So, but now high school kids, high school sports teams can be a part of our company and not come in and get like a more clinical IV drip, right? And then we like to say, we are the only hydration company that actually specializes in clinical hydration who's done a powder. That is a first out there. Like,
absolutely, I would think
a big
so.
Gatorade or Powerade or anything like that, of course, they don't do clinical IVs. And, we took everything we learned making those formulas and put them into a powder.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's not as good as an IV. And, that's what we preach to our clients. But, someone 100,000 miles away can order it and be a part of what we got. And that's kind of the brand we're trying to build, like a Red Bull or a Monster Energy, right?
Yeah.
I grew up in action sports, I'm trying to build a brand like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. So you're talking, even for this stuff, $1.25 a serving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So it compares to, it's cheaper than if you were to buy a bottle of water, and one scoop of ours is just around the price of getting a Gatorade at a gas station or so.
And a whole lot better for you.
Yeah. No sugar. So you don't get that bloated feeling. You can drink a ton of it and don't get
That's the worst. I hate that.
So did you go through and like fine tune the flavoring?
Yeah.
And
Flavoring, formulas. It was a long process, and I'm thankful for my partners because that's their wheelhouse, the pharmacy aspect, they know that stuff like the back of their hand. And that's why I'm glad they're here to help. And we're a killer team together.
Man, I was looking at your website too, dude. This is really good. You help them do a lot of this stuff?
I did the website.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. Like I'm all in, right? You guys saw I pull up in a van that has ReFuel IV on the side of it. That's my personal vehicle. I sold my truck.
I saw the van pull up. I told Steve, I was like, you would keep in a big van?
I sold my F-150, and that's my personal vehicle. I drive it everywhere. Big Ford Transit. It's got ReFuel IV on the back and the sides.
Dude, just walking or driving an advertisement. Yeah.
Yep, I'm all in. I started. We push social media pretty hard. That's free marketing. It's
But that's
free.
the way of everything nowadays.
Yeah, exactly. And then I don't have a business degree or anything, but luckily I'm surrounded by people who have ran businesses for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's kind of trial by fire. But AI, like I tell my dad and stuff, I don't know, even my partners, I don't know how you started a business, 20, 30 years ago, because, if I have trouble with something, I can find the answer really fast.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And then we use a lot of AI. I'm a nut when it comes to that. So when our patients leave, AI sends them leave us a review, tell us how we did, birthdays, it'll send them a discount code. Like AI, that takes all the work off of me. We have AI do a lot of our marketing stuff. But yeah, I'm all in. I'm driving a van daily. It's got 10
not
seats
a small
in it.
van,
No,
yeah.
it's got 10 seats inside of it. I do a lot of mountain biking too, so it's kind of like my wife just thinks I did it on purpose, and so I could have like a overland van to take out to the trails and stuff. But
wait till your daughter grows up. God, my dad is here in the big van.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So do you take this this powder around? Do you have it for sale like when you're mountain biking and stuff?
So what we do with that van, the idea behind the van is, of course, kind of like a mobile billboard, but I try to send either, like, the powders are nice because I can just go and sell powders.
Of course, yeah.
I can't go and do IVs, but I'll take those powders, and any marathon, 5K, CrossFit competition within 250 miles, I'm there.
That's genius.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm there just kind of wheeling and dealing and getting people to try it. I just got to get them to try it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that. Anything that's good.
Yeah.
Like legitly good. Once you try it,
yeah,
you're going to come back.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's a funny story kind of. We set up, this was about 3 months ago, kind of when we first launched the powder. There was a 4-hour endurance mountain bike race in Pigeon Forge at this place called Wildside that just opened. I didn't learn about it until Friday night, and the event started at 8 a.m. on Saturday morning. So I'm on Instagram, I'm DMing and no response. So I was like, I'm just gonna show up at like 6, and hopefully they'll let me in. And so I drive the van up there, and the van makes me look legit. The van makes me look like I'm a real big company. I got and I don't look like I'm just an employee. Coming to set up. So. And they're very nice. Like, yeah, you can set up here. And I was the first one there. So I got the best spot, the best vendor spot. So it was a 6-mile loop that the bikers would ride. And you had to get as many laps in 4 hours.
Oh, okay.
So it was and there was it was like a pit lane kind of, because they would stop after the loop, get a drink, their goos and gels, like the triathletes, all stuff like that. So I had one of those. I stopped at the Food City in Pigeon Forge on my way there, and bought one of those big, like, construction worker, it's got the little spigot on the bottom.
Water cooler.
Water cooler, yeah. So I bought one of those, and we have a nice tent set up. It's got our logo on it and everything. It's 10 by 15. It's pretty big because we do a lot of events. And so I bought one of those and filled it up. I dumped the whole can in there, a whole can of 30 servings and just 5 gallons of water. And where I looked like I was part of the event, like a refill station, like a water refill station. And our powder, when it goes to water, there's no junk in it, so it's clear. There's no color.
There's no color.
There's no additives. There's no dyes. So when you put it in water, like, you wouldn't be able to tell if it was in here or not. So it looked like, and I had those little cups too, just like you see.
Yeah.
So people were coming by, and they'd take their lap. They would grab off the table, take a sip, get the taste, and turn their head like, "What was that? That wasn't water." And after the race, I had to line out the tent.
Are you serious?
That is genius.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I'd say everybody's times were better.
Yeah,
they felt better.
It was great. And the wild side people, they love me. They're like, "Come back whenever." Yeah, it was awesome. It turned out perfect.
Man, if you could just do that everywhere, right?
I know, yeah, exactly.
That is genius. That's so neat that it's clear.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So I looked at your website. Dude, just putting the information in here, I've built a couple websites.
Yeah.
It's a lot harder than it looks.
Using AI, man. I mean,
Yeah.
like, GoDaddy's got a good AI system
That's
now.
what I used
Arrow,
to, yeah.
I mean,
You can do it now with AI?
pretty much, yeah.
It pretty much does everything
If you
for
put
you.
the information in, it'll.
That's the hard part. You've got to put the information
Yeah.
in. It can only work with what you give it.
That's true.
And
That is true.
you've got a lot of information, a lot of
Yeah,
good
there is.
stuff.
Yeah.
man.
Mhm. It's about to get a whole nother revamp too, because right now there's only IV therapy. Now I got to add the cold plunge and the chiropractic stuff, because like they can book appointments through a website and everything.
Have you done a lot of cold plunging?
Yeah. So I got one. The Christmas I moved, or in college, go back, we used it all the time. Like, we had access to athletic training room. We'd go hot, cold, back and forth. The hot one had a treadmill in the bottom of it. Like, we did all kinds
wow.
of different recovery modalities there.
I've read a lot about it. I don't know that I could get in one.
Yeah.
Like, what do you tell people? I mean, just do
So,
it.
like how we do it is, start with your feet for a minute,
That'd be me for a month.
yeah, like things like that.
My husband loves it. He's done it
yeah,
before. He thinks it's incredible.
I enjoy it. I enjoy it more of like just the mental side, like
Yeah.
I said, I'm getting older. I'm not people, oh, you're still young, I'm 24, but I'm not like a kid. When I was a kid, I was like landing on my head, racing motocross. I was a gymnast, doing a lot of wild stuff. And that's why mountain biking is nice for me now. I can kind of still scratch that itch a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit like that. It's hard. It's easy, but it's hard. You just got to sit there in the water. But it gets you to that same kind of place. Like, you're looking at the clock, like, am I done yet? Am I done yet? And then the good part about it is you actually do feel like $1 million. All your swelling's gone. Yeah,
That training you don't want to do that needs to be done. Yeah.
Just like, a hard workout, right? It sucks. And then when you're done, you're like, man, you get that kind of high, like the runner's high, like that. It's kind of the same concept. And then we have the sauna in the same room. So you kind of book the room. You'll have the entire room for 45 minutes. You can go back and forth between the sauna and the infrared light and the
you have the infrared light?
so our sauna has full spectrum, full body infrared inside the sauna.
That's so good for the skin.
Yeah.
It's a huge
it's nice.
thing in med spas and all that stuff. Like, that's a big
Yeah, they have
thing.
like the boxes in the med spas and like put them on or the face masks. Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
See, as I get older, I just get softer, I think. I remember I switched gyms because it was 2 degrees warmer in the pool.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I don't know that I could cold plunge, but I need to try it.
Yeah, so we'll keep that water probably around 45 degrees. The plunge goes all the way to like 32. It'll like almost create ice. We partner with Michael Phelps' company, actually. It's called the Chili Goat.
Oh, okay.
Michael Phelps is his cold plunge company, and they're awesome. They're super big, industrial. They're UV sanitized, so UV light, like a swimming pool. So they're very nice. Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
So like you check the water chemicals just like a pool. I mean, it's pretty nice stuff.
I saw people using like old deep freezers.
So the one I had at home was like Amazon inflatable.
Yeah.
You got to fill. It's nice in the winter because it stays cold, but in the summer you put ice in, it's melted in one day.
Yeah. Well, what's it cost to come use your cold plunge? Or whatever?
The cold plunge and stuff, the pricing and stuff, we haven't came out with that yet.
Okay.
We're still 2 weeks from opening. You know, we're looking at, it's going to be cheaper than the IVs, and that's part of the reason that we're adding it is a cheaper barrier to entry to get you inside of our doors.
Of course, and I'm sure there'll be like a package
day
that
pass,
does everything, right?
So you could do like a day pass. We know you'll have a day pass. We know you'll have you can get a 10 session package, or you can get like a membership where you can come 3 to 4 days a week regularly. We'll have options like that. Yeah.
Someone like me that wants to try it, but man, I don't want to go buy one to try it. I don't have to get a bunch of ice.
You can get just a day pass and come pop in and, see if you like it. And we have a shower in there, and the whole room is tile, to where like you can walk from the sauna and stuff, and it all just goes down one drain, and it makes it easy for our employees to flip the room, squeegee the water down.
That's
and then,
nice.
So that's the nice part about, we've built this space from scratch, and we've been able to do from where the outlets are for security cameras and everything is exactly where we wanted it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
We've been in a lot of rooms to where you just make things work. You know,
Yeah.
we don't have a plug here. We'll run something over here, make it. Dude, that's great.
Yeah, that's the first time I've ever done anything like that. It is nice. It's worth it. It's worth the. We signed the lease on that place back last October, and we are just now going to open it in 2 weeks. I mean, the first 5 months, people are asking us like, "Have you guys done anything yet?" And it's like, "Well, we've been working with an architect before we even do anything. We got to get all the architectural plans done and get the building permits and this and that." And it looks like we were doing nothing, but we're doing a lot. We're working on this every day, and then the construction part was the quick part. Once it's all done, they build it pretty quick. But yeah.
Well, and that's a lot of stress thinking about how you need the space to be functional and where you need to put things. There's a lot that goes into that process. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah. Watching the cake bake is the easy part. It's mixing all the ingredients and making it good. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Awesome.
But, I enjoy the, like I said, I've heard somebody say it. I can't remember who, maybe Mark Cuban or something. I'm a big Shark Tank guy.
I love Shark Tank.
My gosh, that's one of my. I don't watch much TV, but like if that's on, I'm watching it.
I watched it on repeat for years.
It's like I think he says, I'd rather make 20,000 working for myself than 100,000 working for somebody else. That's me. I mean, and I'm kind of wild, and I think that stems from. I had this conversation with someone the other day, and I wanted to actually ask you if you think the same way. Especially with, being confident enough to talk on camera and the podcast and stuff. Do you think that comes from your action sports days of what can get worse than getting hurt doing this? Do you think that comes from that?
Dude, it's got to in some sense. But, you just look at being around my dad and your dad and all those people. We're constantly comparing ourselves to some of the greatest people that I've ever been around,
Yeah.
And then you're wrecking dirt bikes, getting punched in the face, all those things.
That's like you're doing a wheelie down the 4 lane. It's like, and then some people get worried in the airport that they're going to miss their flight. It's like, well, they're, if that's the worst thing that can happen, you're going to be all right. Right.
I heard, it was, my dad was talking to somebody one day and he said, "Man, what are you doing all that crazy stuff for?" He said, "Well, my dad," he said, "I just stay in my comfort zone," is our dad. He said, "I just stay in my comfort zone." The guy said, "Well, your comfort zone's all messed up."
Yeah, exactly. That's like, I'm all in. We did this thing where I post every day until the grand opening of our thing. I post a video talking about our company. And that was a tough idea because I'm 50. This is day 56.
Oh, man.
I think it's going to be that long.
Oh, yeah.
That's a lot of work.
A
lot of work.
Yeah.
But, who cares, right? Like, I don't, talk on camera, whatever. What do I got to lose, right? I've put my life into this company.
What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah. Like, I don't ever want to go back in 10 years and we didn't grow and this got shut down. We went broke, right?
Because you didn't try.
Because I didn't try.
Yeah.
Like, who cares, right? Like, honestly, what's it matter? What's it matter?
Well, it's like I do this podcast and we do a couple other ones, but man, I do it, then I edit it.
Yeah.
You want to hear yourself, you know? Edit a podcast that you're on.
Yeah.
And you just constantly hear it and hear it and hear it. And eventually you just don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
As long as I'm me, I don't care what anybody thinks.
I don't care. I don't put any filters or anything like that. Who cares? Who cares? I don't.
Well, I look like an idiot half the time on our other podcast. I'm like, that's just who I am. It is what it is.
Whatever, right? I mean, this is fun. You're doing something fun. I mean,
yeah.
Who cares, right? Yeah.
That's great. Timmy, man, thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
Will you get me a good copy of your logo and whatever? That way I can make sure we put it on here.
Your logo's awesome. It gives me that 80s, 90s vibes.
Thanks. Yeah.
I love that.
I think like the bright colors, that's kind of what we went for on that. Yeah. And then so like we got the whole like the ReFuel IV, and these are some new shirts and hats we've done. Kind of like I'm talking like I want the Monster M or the Red Bull Bulls. I'm trying to build a brand to make something recognizable. So that's
can we buy those shirts?
Yeah, well, I got some for you guys. Yeah, I got some.
Well, we need to get some more. I'd like to get everybody some. Yeah.
So cool. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll get some stuff.
You got them in the van.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I got everything in
the
there.
van.
Everything. Yeah, that's what it's for. That's what it's for. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's fantastic.